It's digital game time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Digital Game Time. I'm Leo, along with and Francisco. And you're tuned in to your family-friendly show about gaming, movies, and pop culture, all from a family-friendly perspective. Family-friendly. We're coming at you live from the Central Coast of California. And we have a tremendous show for you today. DGT number 123, episode 123. Yeah, man. It's quite the feat that we... But I have to say, in serious news, I prefer all of his solo work. Yeah. Yes. I recently got a disc of the dangerous short films, as he used to call them, his music videos. And it's jam-packed with a lot of features that I don't think you can find anywhere else anymore. It has how he prepared himself for the Super Bowl appearance. Oh, that's nice. And when he won the Grammy in 1993, when Janet Jackson went up on stage with them, and he made the joke like, see, not the same person. Because I remember there was that rumor going around. So
we have an echo effect.
Echo. It's because we probably have something going on over here. Two mics right here. Is this? They found it? Why won't it let me click off? Keep talking. Either way, so yeah, Laserdisc is pretty awesome for those of you that don't know it. There was a time between VHS and DVD where everyone in their phone has the volume on. No?
Mine's up. Do we still sound the same?
Check it out. See how bad the echo is. Echo. So, I don't know. But, it is a big time. It's probably because it's catching either the camera or the big over there.
Cam link, turn the audio off.
Cam link. There you go. That's the one. Found it. Fixed it. That great audio. So the introduction must have sounded pretty epic. Pretty awesome. So yeah, there was a time between VHS and DVD, big record looking like DVDs, Laserdisc. And not a lot of people know about it because they were pretty expensive back in the day. It was like $80 for a single Laserdisc. Yeah, remember like only businesses used to use them, like, and schools. And quality was obviously superior to VHS, and it didn't degrade like VHS tape does. But people couldn't really afford them, and the players themselves were like $800. So not a lot of people bought Laserdisc players back in the day. I own one. So I'm actually on my 5th Laserdisc player because they're old. It's an old technology and it keeps breaking down. But I think I found the winner, guys. And
plus, I think you're a good person.
Thanthat's I appreciate it. So that's probably
that's what you took out of all of that?
Yeah. I mean, that's people don't know this at home because people just see your sad, decrepit face every week and they assume the worst, right?
Yeah, usually.
But I want people to know that Pancho is a really cool guy. I'm sorry, that was really backhanded.
No one knows what it's like.
They're just jokes, guys. They're just jokes.
Knows what it's
They're
like.
just jokes.
No soup for you.
See, he doesn't get offended like you guys do.
Eyes.
Millennials.
I gotta just say, real quick, that echo was pretty bad. It sounded like we were omnipotent there for a second.
We were omnipotent?
We commanded attention.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah. On our playlist here, do we have anything about Fanime, or should we talk about it right now?
Let's talk about Fanime.
Let's talk about Fanime.
Okay, before we get to Fanime,
let's not talk about Fanime.
I just want to welcome everybody who's joining us for the show live here on Facebook.com/merchandise/digital game time. It's the only way you can interact with us up here in the comments section.
No other ways exist.
You're gonna see your new chalkboard with your actual comments live as they come in. So please be responsible. Your name is on them, and we are trying to make this a family-friendly show.
Sometimes.
So keep that in mind.
We will tattle. We will be
giving you some shout-outs. We will be talking with you if you have any questions or any comments about stuff that's relevant to the topic that we're talking about. Even if it's not relevant to the topic, we might talk about something depending on what.
Yeah, you don't know what we're going to talk about. Just bring something up. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Oh, yeah. So this is new, huh? What is it? Can't really tell.
It's a chalkboard.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
AJ Bishop's watching us. What's up, AJ Bishop? What's AJ Bishop telling us right now?
Pancho is ancient.
Apparently.
That you're ancient?
I guess.
No, you're not ancient. You're an 80s kid. 80s kids.
Yeah, we all are.
And I also want to remind everybody that we're also on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. If that's too much to remember, all the keyword digital game time. If that's too much to remember, you could just go digitalgametime.com. Digitalgametime.com.
Yep.
Where you'll find us. Just Google it. Google it.
Google us. We are on Google.
We are.
Yes, that's right, people.
So, Fanime.
We're going again to Fanime. 4th time in a row.
Yeah.
In the span of about 3 years.
First time as Digital Game Time, though.
First time as Digital Game Time.
That is
so
true.
I'd like to just anybody who's a cosplayer or who's into anime and that's gonna attend this event.
Massive event.
Yes,
it's pretty massive.
It's one of the biggest anime events in all of the United States.
They have to hire 3 different hotels around that area because they don't have enough space at the convention center.
Right.
Events that they have going on. It's pretty big. It's pretty fun. We
drone footage, you say?
I'll
consider it.
I'll consider it. I thought someone made a comment, but all right. Yeah. Good job. Good job. I got to say, it's pretty massive because we see new cosplayers almost every year. Even the VIP guests.
And even old ones that we have seen before that we don't recognize because they're that good.
Yeah.
We think it's new ones. But
it's like a scavenger hunt. We got to find you now. So tag us.
Guys, I feel like I'm in between you. I'm like...
You are in between us.
I'm
yeah, just butt out of this conversation.
I'm like the wall between you two communicating.
We're cool. So yeah.
I'm going to get back a little bit.
I think it's been twice or 3 times already where we go to hey, check us out. Did you get... Would you interview me last year, remember?
We did?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our bad because we try to get your info and all that stuff.
Sal Servin is watching.
So that we can,
Hi, Sal. What's up, Sal?
Properly, appropriately, tag you in the video content.
What?
Appropriately.
Tag
you. Tag your it. And we forget names or we get mixed up with who's who, so we try.
Plus, they use their artistic names, so it's kind of hard to remember all of them.
Right, yes. So... we got to come up with a better system.
Rick,
Loki hates you.
The fans are clamoring for it, and we are anxious to know, are you going to go with the goatee look come this Fanime, or are you going to still keep it with the beard?
So. More importantly, Laurel or Yanni?
Did I have the goatee on the first one?
You did.
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
I don't remember. No, I think I've had this beard look for quite a while already.
Yeah.
Give us 1,000 likes and I'll
1,000 likes and then
1,000 likes
it off.
No,
I'm sure
it's
possible.
Maybe 1 million likes. Maybe 1 million.
No, you already said 1,000.
No, you said 1,000.
Laurel.
I don't know how that thing got so popular as it was. It was just an audio track.
The gold.
It was just an audio clip, and people were making this big fuss about it.
Big fuss.
And
I thought we were going to say something else there for a while. I'm like, Rick.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, a lot of people getting into arguments and whatnot.
We already got comments already.
Not us.
Not us.
I heard Yanni, dude.
Right off the bat, me and Lil were like, Laurel, and this guy, Yanni.
And you're like, what?
No, the first time I heard it, the first few times I heard it, it was Yanni.
Oh, okay.
Clear as day. And then I heard it off of somebody else's phone.
Yeah, I switched my Bluetooth to my actual speaker, and it does change.
Yeah. So. And then after that, I've been trying to replicate it, and I just hear Laurel ever since.
Laurel. And I never even heard Yanni. I always heard like a Yari.
Yari.
Yeah, well, it sounds like Yari.
Yeah. Yari. It was fired on you. On to the show, guys. Let's go.
What
do we got?
What do you have on the screen today?
Now,
come DGT Live. On Mondays
at
7 p.m. Pacific.
Live YouTube Q.
Don't forget the volume. Oh, you're good.
Blank screen.
Yeah, blank.
Bam!
Oh,
dude. Speaking of getting into arguments, yeah, ThunderCats is making a comeback for all you 80s kids out there.
a comeback.
No. This is not for the 80s.
No, dude.
It's not for the 80s kids.
This
That's
is a
for
bunch
sure.
of crap right here. This right here you're seeing is a bunch of crap. Because let me tell you something. I've said this before in the show. We talked about Teen Titans and how mad they make me because they make so much fun of the Young Justice. It's basically Young Justice was one of the greatest shows, and then Teen Titans comes along and it's like, what the crap? And I get it, it's for the kids, but then they are doing the same treatment to one of the most beloved 80s shows. Classic shows. And this guy that you see on the screen right here is a hypocrite because he says that he loves the ThunderCats, that he loved them growing up, but he's responsible for this travesty. And look at that ridiculous. What's that? What?
No hate here. No hate, Pancho.
It's the millennial version of the mullet.
Oh my God.
All right. So we know.
I'm done. I'm not even gonna spend more.
We know.
Okay, I want to hear your take because I got a take on it too.
We had our version, the 80s version, what we grew up with.
2011.
What we know. No, ours was the 80s.
I love the 2011.
2011 remake or reboot, right? Because it wasn't okay. It had what, one season, right? And then what happened?
It got canceled.
Why?
Because people weren't watching.
So now that they make this, now people want to watch.
No, I don't see
That
any
remains to be
true
seen.
ThunderCats.
No, well, I'm not
watching.
saying. I'm not saying because
Maybe
they want to watch it. Now they're. Let me rephrase that. Now they care. Now because they see this funky, crazy cartoon. Me personally, what happened in the 80s, that's what I grew up with. That's what I saw. That's what I enjoyed. That's what I loved. The 2001 remake, I didn't really see it. I saw a couple episodes. I didn't really see it. It was like, whatever. It's a shame that it didn't,
it's such a good show.
This one,
Such a great
just
show.
like Teen Titan goes, you know what?
It sucks.
It's for giggles.
No, it's not.
I'll probably watch a couple episodes, and if I like it, I'll keep watching it.
Drake, I will kick you in the head if you watch them. If you give them audience.
I will watch it.
This is made for kids.
Now
I will watch it.
I understand that they're making this for kids today, and this is what kids today like. But don't market it as ThunderCats. Find something else. Find another property. Make your own characters. Why go to something 80s people care about?
It had its chance in 2001.
Oh, man.
11.
Oh, sorry, 2011.
My take on this is this. 2011 was, in my opinion, I mean, nostalgia being taken out of the equation, was the best version of ThunderCats we've ever seen.
Yes, it is.
Because it was all the great action, all the greatness of ThunderCats in...
without the cheesiness. Because in the 80s version, there was a lot of cheesiness. You know?
Right. Well, yeah, there was, and some of the story left a lot to be...
it has such a great mythology. So many good things about it.
The 2011 was so much more mature. It was so much better. It was so well written, so well executed on so many levels. It was deep. It was engaging.
Yes, it was.
It took some chances. It took some risks. And in my opinion, it did pay off as far as storytelling point of view goes. However, the big mistake, in my opinion, was that they marketed the 2011 series to children.
They did. Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it was on Cartoon Network, and it really wasn't a children's cartoon. It was much more mature. I think it was before its time. I think it was probably 10 years before its time.
Yeah. So you're saying if they put it on like Adult Swim, for example, Cartoon Network, it would have done better.
It would have been a hit.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Yeah, because it was definitely more of a mature cartoon.
What airtime did it have?
I think it was like 6:30 at night.
Afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I don't know. I'm just saying, I mean, it sucks that we don't get a legit remake of what we saw.
What's Sal saying?
This is garbage. And I agree.
Oh.
It sucks, but they attempted it in 11. It didn't happen. So now they're just playing they're playing their cards. What can we do next?
I mean, and I don't blame the studios for doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
they got
this property, and I believe that most studios have a property for a certain amount of time that they have to do something with it. Otherwise, they lose the rights to it. So this is what they're doing, and it's.
I mean, it's the same thing.
It's fun,
with,
cheap, successful animation on Nickelodeon. They got, I think, 2 or 3 cartoons already that use this style of animation.
Ninja Turtles was one of them.
And they're all relatively successful. I think that this is just like the
that was what I'm about to say.
Following step up from that, it's Thundercats. I am gonna watch it.
I am not.
I'm gonna give it a chance.
The comment that we got, same thing happened to Voltron.
Yeah, Voltron on Netflix.
But it's actually doing pretty good.
Right now
it is doing pretty good.
Yes.
It doesn't have this kind of animation. No. It has the 11 kind of animation.
It still has the anime styling
and I think that,
but it still has its little quirky kind of
silliness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To begin with, if they were trying to go towards the market that is children, the 2011 was a failure. But I mean, if you look at it that way, if they're aiming at the children as the main market for this, because let's get real, what they want to do is just sell toys and merchandise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what they want. And I think that what they're doing now, it's more direct towards children, and I think it's going to be more successful. However, in the process, they're going to probably end up butchering a lot of what the mythos of the Thundercats
who's to say that doing this isn't going to spark more attention towards the 11 remake, and we get a demand for it, and they
Netflix should bring it back.
Okay, another production, jumps on it and tries to get something out of it.
That would be excellent if they did something like that. I would love to see that.
I'm all for it.
I was telling
I am watching.
I think I was telling you guys earlier that if I were to ever win the $400 million jackpot, I would try to commission another 2 seasons of that 2011 series, because it was just
ended in
good.
such a cliffhanger, because he had finally realized what he needed to do, and then, sorry guys, we're canceled. It felt, you know how it felt like Shenmue, which by the way got delayed again. But it don't matter. It don't matter. You know
slated
why?
to come out in 2019.
Because they finally showed us the progress that they've done. When they showed us that first video clip, the first trailer, everybody was like, they look so blocky, so blob.
Yeah.
Now they refined them, and now they show the difference. And the model characters actually look really good now. So I'm all for it. Hey, 2019, I already waited 15 years. I can wait another year.
I'll be honest with you. When it comes to Shenmue, I was worried about it. Coming out this year, I was thinking I don't think it's gonna be enough time
rush it
for them to make a decent game, and if they don't make a decent game, that might be it. We might not get a Shenmue 4 or 5, because I think there's still 3 more chapters left in this story to tell.
There were originally 15 guys.
Yeah,
15 chapters,
and we only got 2 games.
Back in the year 2000 or 2001, when
it is technically an RPG, so it can,
when the first game was slated to be released, they had the idea. Yu Suzuki had the idea that he was gonna release them in chapters, kind of like the Tall Tale series games. This was back in the year 2000. Actually, even before that, when Dreamcast was gonna come out, but things changed, Saturn. And it wasn't possible, but now what they ended up doing is they kind of squeezed those 16 chapters into, or 14 chapters. How much was it?
I think 15.
15 chapters or 16 down to 6. We already got 1 and 2. We're getting 3, and there's still hopefully 3 more after that. So we'll see. It remains to be seen, and I'm excited for Shenmue. I'm actually kind of excited
for Mewtwo.
I'm excited for this too. I'm
Rick.
hoping that we're pleasantly surprised. Our expectations right now are below the
We're
roof.
getting Shenmue.
Below the ground.
Shenmue.
But we'll see. What's next, guys?
Thundercats roar.
No, heck no. Mowgli. So the Jungle Book is getting another live action treatment.
Is this anything related to the Jungle Book? This is like another remake.
This is not Disney. As we all know, the Jungle Book is not technically a Disney property.
Right.
It's a book written by
C.S. Lewis.
No. Kaplan, I think. Rudyard Kaplan. I can't remember. He's
Lou
a famous
Diamond Phillips.
famous Indian writer.
He's all over the
and
place.
so Disney borrowed the story and made a cutesy, animal
The Jungle Book.
But this right here is what it's supposed to be.
So this is the legit story of Mowgli.
Or the adaptation, yes. So the monkey boy, as they used to call him. And it's probably going to be a little violent. It's probably going to be a little gory. And what's his name? Smeagol is behind it. Oh, he's either the director or associate director.
Oh, cool.
So we know he's an Andy Serkis. We know he's an awesome actor with CG. He makes those characters come out, and now he's gonna be involved with this. And as we can see right here in this shot, the animals will talk. So I don't know. We'll see. Is it too soon for another Jungle Book
I know,
movie?
that's what I was going to say. It just feels kind of awkward that we got the other one, what was it, last year or 2 years ago?
It was like about 2 years
Either
ago.
way, I mean, it just feels like it's too short of a time span. Yeah.
It's too soon, I think. I know it is a different take on it, but I think it is too soon. And
Color Run.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how
Support
I
local
feel
charities.
about this. I mean, I like the Jungle Book, kind of.
I mean, it looks cool. I mean, visually, it looks like it's going to be pretty amazing.
It looks real.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like fantasy.
But
What I want to
don't know.
see is a live-action Tailspin.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
That would be cool.
A live-action Tailspin.
Remember the
Tailspin.
Disney Afternoon? It had Tailspin,
Darkwing
it had,
Duck.
in there.
Darkwing Duck, the Gargoyles.
Yeah, it was all part of that block of
what was another one?
TV shows, cartoons.
DuckTales,
Mhm.
and the I can't remember.
Chippendale.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers. That's right. That was amazing.
All those
90s
cartoons
kids.
All those cartoons were amazing.
Goof Troop. Oh my god.
There's a lot of right there. You saw the list. A lot of famous voice acting going on. Christian Bale, Hella, what's her name?
Well, good for you.
Imagine if we get another thing like
Spider-Man.
We'll see how that one goes. So
Jake
what's going on with
Gyllenhaal
this?
is in the news when it comes to the
that's
Homecoming
right.
sequel. Tell us a little bit more
from
about it, Rick.
Joker to Mysterio. So he's got the bad guy thing going on, huh? Right?
Well, he wasn't Joker. He was tagged to be Batman,
He was in
Suicide
Brokeback
Squad.
Mountain with the Joker.
He was.
Suicide Squad.
No, that's Jared Leto. You're confusing me. Rick.
My
Apologize to our
bad.
public. Apologize right
my
now.
bad.
Snaps.
My bad.
Should see the look on your face.
You look at it.
Priceless.
Look, I don't care.
Priceless.
My bad.
So yeah, Mysterio.
That's cool. When this was just recently, like today, right?
Not to be confused with Rey Mysterio
It's a
Jr. of
rumor.
the WWE
It's a rumor. Nothing's been confirmed.
and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
But apparently it comes from a very reliable source that he's been tapped to. Hey, dude, you want to play Mysterio in Homecoming too? So who knows?
How about a live-action DGT movie? How more live can you get than us?
Prince of Persia. That's right, Sal. Yeah, that was a good one too. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, favorite
Mysterio-
Jake Gyllenhaal film.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Your favorite.
Some of your favorites.
Oh, Donnie Dark was one of them.
Oh, that's a good one.
Let's see. There was one. I can't remember the name
Was
of it.
he,
But he was like in this like capsule. He was actually dying. Oh, spoilers. I can't even tell. Watch it. Look for it. He's like an army soldier that's about to die. And that movie's crazy. You know what I'm talking about?
No, the other movie, the Training Day one. That was
Training
him,
Day?
right? The cop
No.
one.
I love Nightcrawler. I love October Sky.
Oh, October Sky's a really good one
The
too.
cop one. Wasn't he in it?
No, Rick.
Oh, yes, he was in
wasn't.
End of Watch.
End of Watch.
End
That
of
movie
Watch.
was
That's right.
awesome.
Okay, yes, that one was a good one. Okay, so yeah, he's a good actor. But let me say this again: to play Mysterio, you really don't need to be a good actor. And I don't think, because
Well, depends on how his suit's gonna look. Because if it's gonna be like a see-through kind of mask kind of thing,
Where you
I
can see
really
him.
doubt they're gonna put a fishbowl on his head.
I don't know, Rick.
Because that's the comic book. It looks like he's got a fishbowl on his head, and he's got like a green suit, purple
Yeah.
cape. So
Look.
I really doubt they're gonna do that. They're
Let
gonna
me-
tweak his costume. They're
Marvel.
probably gonna give him like a Cobra kind of mask, where it's just
It is Marvel, and
Cobra
and
Commander?
you've seen what they
Yeah.
did with
They're
Guardians.
very
so
what's the word? They're very kind of true to their characters' looks for the most
no.
part.
I mean, I know it'll be relatable, but it's not gonna be that. I hope it's not gonna be that.
it probably
fishbowl.
will be, and then they'll show you, Rick,
All right, show me, show me.
and then
Show
we expect
me
another
the
apology
money.
from you.
I apologize in advance. Doesn't mean
Speaking
nothing.
of
Doesn't mean
apologizing in
nothing.
advance, Solo, a Star Wars
Solo.
story, is officially going to release
This weekend.
This weekend, right?
No.
Labor Day
And,
weekend.
So we're looking forward
love
to
you.
it. I know I'm
I
looking
know.
forward to it. It looks like it's going to be an interesting film. I like the side stories more now than the actual trilogy.
The actual trilogy,
because
that
I
kind
see the
blew
actual
it.
trilogy as
I
ruined.
gotta
by,
say, what like
okay,
a week or
I
two
want to hear
ago?
this. He watched it. He
Like-
finally
like-
watched
like-
Last
like-
Jedi.
Okay, let's pause this. Then.
Return of the Jedi, right?
Okay, so Rick is not such a big Star Wars fan. And so I want to hear his opinion of Last Jedi.
Episode. Why did I say Return of the Jedi? I told you guys when I saw this, like all these little things, like Leia floating, flying. What? What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The Force. All right.
You bought it.
Let's get. All right.
You gave it a chance. You're like, all right. Okay.
Hidden power. All right. It happened.
Okay.
And then.
And then what happened?
I don't know, dude. Like.
When he says, I don't know.
I don't know what to think. Like, okay. I want to love it because it's Star Wars. Because it's it's a continuation. Like, I want the Force.
The Force.
Excuse me? What?
Kill me?
What?
Kill me?
It just literally seemed like they ran out of ideas, and they're just like, yeah, just throw that in there, and you know what? Just have them do this, and let's go over here, and let's go.
Yeah.
It was an okay movie.
It's because, I will tell you guys, people at home, you guys,
spoiler.
Why it bugs me is because if we go by that logic that the Force was able to save her while she was out of space, that same logic applied to Mace Windu, one of the most powerful Jedi in the universe next to Yoda. He would have survived that fall with the Emperor. If you go by that logic. Yeah. And no, there are rules to the Force. Yeah. It's not all powerful. It's there to aid the Jedi, but there's certain restrictions. And this guy didn't respect
What's the name of the director for episode
Rian
9?
Johnson.
Johnson?
Yes, Rian Johnson.
See, when I went to see it, I saw it thinking, like, okay, I'm,
okay.
Clean slate, All right, cool.
Blow my mind,
and
guys.
So I saw the movie. I thought it was entertaining. But when it was all said and done, I had a lot of gripes. It didn't feel like a Star Wars film to me. It felt like a good film, but it didn't feel like a Star Wars film because there was a lot of lore that they just didn't respect. My biggest gripe with it, I mean, and they had that scene, and they had a lot of other scenes actually.
And Leia hasn't even been trained in the Force.
Exactly.
That's another thing. It's like,
and my biggest gripe was the way they did Luke Skywalker.
They did him dirty, bro.
They did him wrong.
I think that he deserved a greater. I mean, spoiler here for those of you who haven't seen it. He dies, but I think that a character like him deserved a better send off, as opposed to just like, I'm tired, I'm old, I'm gonna disappear. And
oh man,
and that's kind of what happened. And you know what? When it happened, I was still in the process of processing,
swallowing the whole thing.
I was still like processing the visuals of like he's on this rock, and then I look over at the sunset. Oh,
and you're like, it's
how
coming.
Poetic
The
suns are going down, and then I've tried to focus back where he was at, and I was like, his clothes are just there. Where'd he go? Like, I didn't even have the chance to
actually see him disappear.
Look back to him and see him disappear, which is kind of like.
What about the Yoda scene? Like, I just felt like
it was just thrown in there.
It just didn't
for
feel,
nostalgia.
It didn't feel like
it didn't have a
had to be there. Like he had to, It wasn't training. It wasn't nothing special. It was just like books.
Yeah, I mean, there's and here's the biggest gripe I have after learning more of what went on behind the scenes. As you know, we disagree on this, but I'm a big fan of Episode 8. Not so much because of the film itself. The film was pretty much.
Well, this is 8.
A throwback. I mean, I'm sorry.
7.
Episode 7 was a throwback, kind of like a reminder to Star Wars: A New Hope. Episode 4. And at the same time, the way I was seeing it, because I was reading between the lines on everything that was happening to it, and I was saying like, oh, I like what they did there. They're setting this up for later movies, or they're setting this character up for something to happen to him or her in later movies. And I was looking at every single little setup, and I was thinking like this is brilliant.
Freaking JJ though, because
I'm sorry.
Okay, the whole thing with the lightsaber, right?
Yeah.
That was like the big ending of episode 7. So Rey comes to the island. Here's your lightsaber. It's like it has to be like a mystical. There has to be something behind it, right? And what does Luke do with the lightsaber? Like the director saying, like, I ain't gonna follow your script, dude. I have my own set of ideas.
And that
was the moment where I was like, what the heck?
And that's where I was like, when when I was finding out about what happened behind the scenes is J.J. Abrams had this whole story set up
for all three because he was originally the original writer.
He wrote the script for episode 7.
Story. Yes.
And he had kind of like the story beats set up for episode 8 and 9. And he gave them to this Johnson.
It wasn't Johnson
director.
yet. It was somebody else. It was Johnson, and it was Colin. I can't remember his last name.
Farrell.
But no. But basically,
I found out he gave them to.
They were supposed to work together.
Right.
Okay.
He ended up giving
Colin
them to Johnson. Eventually,
but then the other guy for episode 9, Colin, he just got mad with Johnson, is the rumor.
Yeah.
Because Johnson wasn't following what they already had going.
Right.
And so then the other guy is like, you know what? Okay, fine. I'm not doing this. And then Lucasfilm let the other director go.
Yeah.
And that's why JJ is back.
Yeah, and from the stuff I've been reading is
save us, JJ.
Yeah.
You're our only hope.
The stuff I read was that he eventually ended up having, like a sit down and pass along his ideas to Johnson. And Johnson was just kind of like, oh, thanks, but I'm going to do my own thing. Yep. And apparently he started writing a script without ever seeing even the original trilogy.
Yep.
He had never seen the original trilogy of Star Wars, and he started already writing his own script. Never having seen episode 7 either. He started writing his own script.
How can you do that, though? I mean, it's kind of like saying, like, all this that happened.
He did Looper. So that was his big thing. Kathleen Kennedy.
The teleport movie?
No,
Looper?
It's the one that time traveling. But Kathleen Kennedy, who's the president
JGL
of Lucasfilm,
and
her thing was that she wanted young indie directors to do the Star Wars films. So indie director doesn't always usually translate to good director.
But I mean, was this kind of like trying to prove a point, like I can make a good movie, or
he
was it
told to make a Star Wars movie, and his point was like, you don't tell me what to do. It's like they already asked me to do this.
So he's like, I'm gonna do it my way, one way or another, and
I mean, it's not a bad movie. Visually, it's very stunning. It's very beautiful.
But that's not really on him. That's the story that he gave us was just not Star Wars. It was
a different story.
It was a space movie.
This should have been one of the side stories, not part of the trilogy. So right now, I honestly, J.J. Abrams, my respects. I know you're working on episode 9 right now.
He might bring Luke back.
I know he's working on episode 9, but I don't see how you're gonna just clean up this aisle 9 right now.
You know how I see
aisle 8.
You know how
clean up on aisle 8.
You know how I see him clean this up? By at the moment where Luke disappears, he doesn't really die, but goes to the actual planet where he was battling Kylo. You know, like his projection was so strong that it actually pulled them and teleported. And yes, it will be very far-fetched, but we already saw Leia
better than what we got
going towards space. Yeah,
but didn't she feel when Luke passed on?
Supposedly, but
what if she just felt him pass gas?
You
never
know, Rick.
He's like,
boom. We need to save Star Wars here, Rick.
He's gonna have
we need a little more imagination from you, buddy.
He's gonna have to backtrack.
We're saving Star Wars. That's what we're naming this.
Saving
this
Star
episode. Episode 1, 2, 3.
He's literally going
Star
to
Wars.
have to add extra footage of why she was able to survive in space, like some kind of hidden ability or some kind of something happening in the background that we're not aware of to kind of like
there's a moon floating by that's actually pulling her that direction.
Yeah.
There was an
gravitational
asteroid
pull
that passed right over her.
I don't know. We need to figure it out.
It's gravitational
we need to
force
save Star Wars.
Back either in.
We gotta
moving on.
Here. I'm sorry. This is a huge sidetrack. We just rambled on forever. It seems like.
Well, so we were talking about Solo.
We're trying to talk about Solo here.
That's right. I forgot we were even talking about.
Okay. Solo's about to come out. A lot of the early reviews are in. And where do you guys think, without looking, where do you think this movie is going to fall in terms of critical acclaim?
Probably the best one.
So on the good side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a little bit above average. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad.
Okay. According to Rotten Tomatoes.
Holy crap.
There's only 2 movies that scored worse than this one.
Oh my god.
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, at 55%, And episode 2, Attack of the Clones, at 66%.
Doesn't seem good, guys.
All the rest of the films have a, a 79 or above.
71%, guys.
So Solo got a C?
Solo, a Star Wars Story, got a 71%.
I don't see. 85. 85% for Rogue One.
Number 1, in case you're wondering, number 1 is episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Number 2 is one of my personal favorites, episode 7, The Force Awakens.
And A New Hope.
And let's see, where's number 3? Yeah, and A New Hope. So
number 2.
I mean, practically they're the same movie.
That doesn't seem good. That
it
doesn't seem promising at all.
I kept hearing the critics though over the weekend that it was supposedly one of the best Star Wars movies, and that it brought back that nostalgic feel from the 70s. But apparently, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't think so. So
no, I mean,
oh wow,
I mean, it's a well-respected site. We have to take into account also their individual
their stuff.
Their individual people that have been rating their films. So,
wow.
I mean, I mean, you would think it can't vary too much. Like it could go maybe like 7 points either way, depending on who's reviewing the film. But I just
interesting.
It kind of tells you the state.
Well, I don't know. They gave The Last Jedi a really good score, and it got a 91.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, who knows then? We'll see.
So their credibility.
Well, like I said, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. It is. It's just not a Star Wars movie.
That's a point. Yes.
Yeah. So yes, 91. I can justify
Space
a 91.
Wars.
Like, but it's not Star Wars.
Space Force.
You know. But yeah, I mean, Solo. I actually think it's gonna be better than in terms of enjoyment as Episode 8. But
interesting.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
I guess we'll have
You're
to
talking
wait until
about
we see it.
They're messing with royalty here, and I think who's the lady in charge of Star Wars right now? That Disney.
Kathleen Kennedy. She's been messing up a lot. I think she's been in charge of movies since the 80s, dude. She was like number 2 to Steven Spielberg.
Right.
So she knows her movies, and she was also number 2 for George Lucas for a while. While they need to
bring your boy Steven Spielberg to handle some of the Star Wars duties here.
Well, Ron Howard's kind of like an extension of Steven Spielberg. I always saw those two as like kind of the same.
Ron Howard's
mental
films are really cool.
Mental health.
I like
mental
health.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It won't be Infinity War though.
It will not.
Star Wars.
Nothing will beat Infinity War.
Man, Star Wars, one of the highest grossing films of all time.
I know. It's like, oh, dude. Oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah, and to the highest grossing video game of all time.
GTA still making
GTA 5.
sales.
This week, I read a little tidbit that it reached the 95 million games sold worldwide. As of
Close
this
to
month.
$1 billion.
My God, it's still in the top 10 charts since release.
It's still a fun game to play.
It's very fun. I like playing it. They still have updates for it. It's really engaging.
And there's no way you have seen all of Los Santos as of yet. If you have, then you don't stop playing this game at all.
Yeah. But I mean,
they keep releasing updates. I think one of the newer
There's
updates is that you're going to be able to own nightclubs now. So that should be interesting.
I just can't imagine how much, like hardware-wise, servers, like all this stuff going on in the background for them to maintain
thousands and thousands of people playing at the same time.
Yeah. With all these heists, all this cash, all these transactions, all these events going on.
And we should remember that when it first came out, there was a lot of server problems.
Oh,
so
the lags,
they
man.
did not see this coming, but they fixed it, and now there's nothing going on like that anymore. There's the occasional hiccup.
AJ, you're crazy.
It gets fixed.
What's AJ saying?
Oh my
God! He's
God!
gonna see it for the 6th time.
Infinity War?
Yeah.
Oh man!
Wow.
That's dedication.
I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 5 times in the movie theater.
You're crazy.
He just broke your record then.
I was like 7 years old, but
Well, you didn't pay for it, so it's different.
I think we saw episode 1 like 4 times, so I think.
I saw it 3 times.
Was it 3 times? It was 3 times.
The third time I was like, this isn't that good of a film.
I don't think I ever saw any movie in the theaters more than once.
Yeah? No? Oh, good for you. Good for you. Very frugal.
Very frugal.
That's me pounding it with Rick in case it didn't come on camera.
Unimpressed Rick, as you know.
Yes.
Unimpressed.
But, I mean, yeah, GTA 5, 95 million copies sold. It has a revenue of above $6 billion right now. $6 billion.
This is actually...
The $6 billion mark was reached at the beginning of this year.
When did it come out? 11? Or 12?
I want to say about 6 years ago.
Yeah,
so about 12.
So we're due for part 6 then.
With the success
they're just
of this
gonna release
Red Dead Redemption,
and
that's
then
what I'm saying. It's gonna be a while till we see 6.
Rockstar's releasing Red Dead Redemption later this year, and then people are estimating that it's gonna be minimum another 3 years before we get another.
But
Rockstar
in reality,
game.
though, when you have this kind of game, how can you go to something else?
It's a story, Rick.
It's gonna be
story.
I mean, I could see that they do DLC, a new character, a new storyline.
If they do that, I'm all for it. But
because
they haven't done it.
If you go based off of every game, it's a different story, a different city. They have the little quests and missions that you got to do. But this one, being that it has that online capability, it gives you so much more. Why would they want to go to another game unless they do another online game? But then the point is, I
know what you're saying, but I mean, you need more story.
Because I mean,
the only reason I would see them doing it and keeping the same formula, like no gameplay, changing mechanics, like it's gonna be a change like what you saw from 4 to 5. But the difference is gonna be obviously, I think
we need to go back to Miami.
The change of setting. That's gonna be what it is. And
see, I would say that they should start implementing where you can travel from this city.
Yes.
That's what I've heard rumors.
If they do that,
they're gonna try and do that.
I'm all for it. I don't even care if they don't give us any more story. If you can travel
I'm sure
cities,
they'll either give you another character or incorporate one of the other characters into this story.
Well, this is what I've heard, and they're just rumors, nothing legit from a reputable source. But
we're saving Star Wars.
I've heard people saying that the new game is gonna have a brand new location, never seen before in a GTA game.
All right,
but it's gonna give you the option to go to the airport and fly to
any of the
other locations that
that'd be awesome.
Are from.
But
it's not just gonna be Liberty City. It's gonna be also Los Santos, San Andreas, and Las Venturas,
Fierro.
And also what's a Florida setting?
Vice City.
Vice City. They're saying that they're gonna incorporate all those via this cool trick where they're just gonna like hop on a flight and wait on a loading screen, and then when you arrive, it's just boom.
That'd be awesome.
The thing though is, with these kind of games, there's subscription fees involved. They have to make money to be able to maintain their servers and pay their bills, basically. They don't have a subscription fee for GTA.
Not yet.
I mean, there's PS Plus, there's Xbox Live, but that doesn't go to them.
Well,
that goes
the way
to
their business model is set up right now is all
microtransactions.
It's all on the
game sales and the microtransactions. But how good is it doing?
It is doing. Let me tell you why. Okay, the other day I logged in. I wanted to get the free cash that they're giving you. I logged in like 3 days in a row just to count towards my account, because it's like, oh, maybe I can do a heist with the whatever thing they have. Like, there's some big thing where you have to like break into like a government agency or whatever, but you have to have one of the high end apartments or houses to be able to start a heist like that, and they cost millions of in-game money. So in order to do that, you have to like really, really work it, or here's $10.
Yeah,
let me play it. And
so,
the average person is not gonna want to farm.
Right. So what I was trying to say is they're doing good, because these microtransactions don't feel like all these other games where you need them to advance. You don't have to. You can literally play and get this money one way or another. Or if you buy something small,
you want to play the new DLC, you need the apartment, so you're going to spend the money.
So, I mean, that's what I was trying to say, that if they do a part 6, it's gonna split their focus really bad. It's gonna hurt them.
But they're never done by the same Rockstar division, though. It's always Rockstar North or Rockstar South, West and East, whatever.
Different, right?
Yeah, so whoever works on GTA 6 is not going to be the same people that are working on this. They're going to stay on this. And
I think they just hit gold with this one.
But you know what will be amazing, and it'd be working for all of us, them as in the money and us as in new story, if they married the two games online. So when you log in online for 5 or 6, you log in into the same world.
It could. That would be essentially, it would be two different games, but you're hitting the same servers. And
I mean, you play your story on 6 offline. You want to go online? All right, there you go.
But see, if that's the case, then why do they even label it 6? Because it could just be a whole new character that you purchase $30 and you get the X storyline and incorporate.
Semantics.
I guess, but.
I guess what I really wanted to get to with
I remind you of Thanos. All right.
What I really wanted to get to with this news that came out this week, the 95 million total sold.
Did you survive?
We're looking at probably an income of 6.5 billion dollars in revenue from this game alone. If you put that into perspective, we're all excited about the monster numbers that Infinity War is doing right now,
dude.
It's what's the revenue on Infinity War right now? It's probably like 1.5 billion.
It's number 5th on all time.
Yeah, but what's the revenue?
I have no idea.
It's probably around 1.5. I'm just guesstimating based on what your brother's giving you a hard time, man.
He's on fire. I Thanos'd him.
Oh, jeez.
It would have been funny if Thanos, when he snapped his finger, he himself died.
Oh, dude, the gauntlet
he's like,
just falls
oh,
to the
man.
That's what I actually thought happened when he...
Spoiler.
Spoiler. Never mind. Shut up, Leo.
Shut up.
Shut up. Anyway, so if we take that into account, everybody's super impressed of these numbers, 1.5 billion or whatever the number is at the time of this, at the time that you're watching this. That's not even close to number 1 right now. Not yet. Number 1, if you adjust for inflation, it's Gone with the Wind. It's at about
inflation. But back then, you have to think about too that there were not so many mediums of entertainment.
Yeah,
it was the movie.
It was just
a movie. That's it. So now you have games, you have concerts, you have theater, you have many other options for people to go instead of the movies.
So adjusted for inflation, Gone with the Wind is just a little bit north of $3 billion.
But that's kind of
with Avatar,
like
it's just
cheating.
A little bit less than it's at about $3 billion. So you're looking at $6 billion in revenue for the top 2 films combined of all time. This game alone trounces that already. Isn't that amazing? That's I was thinking about that.
That was cool.
I was
that's amazing.
Flabbergasted.
Flabber.
It's phenomenal what video games do. I don't see why video games don't get more attention than what they do already.
Because not a lot of people play them.
I mean, you're talking about the actual enjoyment value of a particular thing.
Anybody can watch a movie, but not a lot of people can play a game.
That's true.
And the attention that they dedicate to the actual players or the audience.
Can you imagine if they released numbers like in terms of just number, like how many people saw this such and such film, as opposed to releasing this film made this much money. I would love to see that, because 95 million, that tells you 95 million people bought the game.
Yeah.
You know, and in terms of numbers,
minimum. I mean, you're talking about right now, it's still a $30 game.
And that's not counting the people that pirated it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's a great time to be a video gamer.
Great time.
Okay, not for this.
We're running long, guys. So
the Nintendo Switch, it has been announced
20 times over
that one of the most graphically intense games of 2017 is going to make its way down to the Nintendo console.
I don't know how I feel about that, guy.
There's a downside to it.
It's a big downside.
It's not going to be a cartridge. It's not even going to be a DLC. It's going to be a streaming game over the internet to your console.
A cloud game on a Nintendo server, on a Nintendo
device
console. So
in order to play, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm. So performance is going to be based off of your connectivity.
Yes. And I mean, I don't know, Rick. I don't know what to think.
It's not.
I mean,
I just have to say I've played this a little bit. It's not a quick Twitch game. However, I think the technology is not there right now.
It's just what I'm saying is that unless Nintendo and Capcom really have something under their sleeve, why would they be even thinking about this? They wouldn't be marketing it. They wouldn't even be announcing this. So I have faith that they have something that's going to make it work.
I don't know. I mean, just from the little bit that we kind of looked into it, they said that you can do a trial. You can test it before you actually buy it.
To see if you actually like it. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay.
I mean, it's definitely a good thing because if you're going to spend that much money for a game that you're not going to enjoy, that's a good thing. But I think in the end, that's what this game is, to test its performance and how it goes for this kind of platform, a cloud-based game rather than a DLC or a cartridge. Can it work? Will it work? And if it does, can they continue to keep doing that?
If it does, they're going to set a new standard in the industry.
Because, well, anyways, Nintendo, what is it called? The online thing from Nintendo. Coming out, next year, I think? Or at the end of this year?
They already rolled out a lot of the online updates. And
no, but the subscription portion that you need to buy.
Nintendo Club.
Wasn't it?
Did they roll it out?
Well, it's like
no,
Xbox, right?
It was pushed back, wasn't
like
it?
Xbox Live and PSN.
Right.
Okay, but we don't know what it's called. I don't remember. But no, it's not out yet.
Well, whatever it's called, I would assume that's what they're kind of going for. You have to pay your subscription fees
in order to play it,
because you're going to play online regardless. You need it to play online regardless. Mm-hmm. So here you go. Here's your game that's included with these kind of subscription fees. It's a Netflix of games, and that's like the thing now, streaming video wherever you go.
Streaming entertainment.
But to play a game, I don't know. I think you buy this game for the visuals, the way that it looks.
And especially now with the net neutrality rules pretty much wiped out, who knows if you're even going to be able to take advantage of this, because...
Why is Gamora?
Exactly.
Why is Gamora?
I don't know, dude.
It's
Nintendo. One of those deals where we have to wait and
here
see.
The whole time.
Wait and see. Wait and see. Moving on.
Didn't see the movie, did you?
I think
that's it. There's no moving on. It's
right.
Boom! I'd like to remind you, DGT Live, Mondays at 7 p.m. here on Facebook.
And Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about a lot. We're going to try and hashtag save Star Wars. We're going to start
so next weekend,
picketing in front of your local Vons.
Watch for our streams on Facebook Live. Friday and Saturday, right?
Right.
Friday, Saturday, we're going to have hopefully, interviews with the guest of honor at Fanime, voice actors, voice actresses, cosplayers, people involved in the anime industry, as well as maybe some interviews with cosplayers around the con. We'll show you around the con a bit.
This is actually going to be really cool because we're going to be streaming live and we're going to try to be interactive with our fans while we're interviewing our VIP guests.
Because we have a new cool device.
So if you're watching, please do. I mean, we're going to be talking to our VIP guests,
you can ask
which
questions.
Literally means you can be talking to them too because we're going to be live. So
yeah. So I don't know.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
It's going to go great. You'll see. You'll see.
So Friday, Saturday.
Stay tuned. DGT. Anime Expo, San Jose, California.
Boom! Facebook Live. Facebook Live, the streamings, and then watch for YouTube for the actual videos later on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 123 of Digital Game Time Live. I'm Leo along with
Rick
and
Francisco.
Until next time, enjoy your games and love your families. Ciao!
It's Daddy's Game Time.